everyone, very good morning. Welcome to IDP Nepal's live session series. I'm Amrit Koirala and I am the Destination Manager for Australia and New Zealand at IDP Nepal office. I will be the host today for this exciting live session. Today, we have invited Ms. Louise Howie. She is Senior Manager, International Marketing and Student Recruitment at Australian Catholic University. ACU is one of the most popular Australian universities among Nepalese students because of its teaching quality, its wide range of choices and locations, its fee structure, and the support they provide to international students. We'll be talking about Australian Catholic University, its programs, scholarship options, and how they're helping international students in the current situation. I'm sure you'll find this session helpful to know more about ACU, its application process, and clear doubts if you have any. While we are talking, please feel free to write your questions and we'll try to answer them on best effort basis. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Louise to our live session. Hi, Louise. A very warm welcome to IDP Nepal's Facebook live session.
Hello, Amrit. Thank you very much for your welcome. And thank you to IDP Nepal for hosting this session today about Australian Catholic University. I'm very pleased to be able to speak to everyone today and tell you about ACU and what we offer, how we help our students, and how we work together with IDP. So,
it's good to have you here, Louise. We were very happy to, as well. So, well, first of all, why don't you start letting our students and guardians about a little bit about ACU?
Sure, Amrit. Okay, so ACU is one of Australia's 39 government-funded universities. And by government-funded, you might wonder about the Catholic name. We're not a private university. We're not a religious university. We are open to all students of all faiths and backgrounds. But what the Catholic does mean is caring and community. And when you come to ACU, you will feel very cared for and very much part of the community. ACU is the fastest growing university in Australia, and we now have above 33,000 students, which means we are a medium to large university in Australia. We're a truly national university, and that we're the only national university in Australia, meaning we have our courses offered over 6 campuses in 5 Australian cities. And the course is exactly the same if you study it in Campus A to Campus C, it doesn't matter. So you can move between the campuses if you wish. Our campuses are based in Brisbane. We have 1 campus there. We have 1 in Melbourne. We have 1 in Canberra. We have 1 in Ballarat, and Canberra and Ballarat being regional campuses. And we have 2 campuses in Sydney, with a 3rd due to open in 2021. So next year, we will open a campus in Blacktown in the western part of Sydney. And that's also where a lot of our international students live, is near the Blacktown campus. So students have a choice where they can go in Australia and choose between the different campuses based on where their friends are, or their family, or their preference for climate, or city size, or cost of living. And cost of living varies between the cities, so budgeting comes into that as well. I always say to a student, do you have friends or family in Australia? And if they say, yes, my relatives are in Brisbane, I say, well, you should go there, because then you will have less to worry about if you know someone. Okay, ACU has 4 faculties. We have law and business, education and arts, health sciences, and theology and philosophy. ACU is the largest provider of graduate nurses and teachers in Australia. So we have very large health science faculties and very large education faculty. We're ranked in the top 2% of universities worldwide, and we are affordable, and that is very important. Shop around, people, find out what the fees are in all of the institutions in Australia, and you will find that ACU comes in at one of the most affordable for quality education in Australia.
Yeah, rightly said, Louise. We have been recruiting Nepali students for a very long time now. Because of your experience, I'm sure you are very familiar with what kind of courses Nepali students generally offer.
Yeah.
Most popular courses among Nepali students in Australia and at ACU.
Okay, well, definitely the most popular course at ACU is the Bachelor of Nursing for Nepalese students. So probably about 70% of the students that come from Nepal will study nursing. And the reason that they do that is that the job opportunities, the career opportunities are very strong. For students that can't make it directly into Bachelor of Nursing, then we have also a pathway program called the Tertiary Preparation Program, or the TPP. So whether your academics are not strong enough or your English is not strong enough or both, you can go through a pathway leading into the Bachelor of Nursing. The Bachelor of Nursing at ACU is ranked at number 18 in the world. And it is, and all of our, just 95% of our graduates get jobs within 3 months of graduating in top hospitals. Other popular courses at ACU in the health sciences area are public health, particularly the Master of Public Health, biomedical science, nutrition science, which has great career opportunities, and becoming more popular now is sports science. Outside of the health area at ACU, the second most popular course is the Bachelor of Information Technology and the Master of Information Technology. And we know in this time, in these times during COVID, how important technology is. We couldn't continue to do our work if it wasn't for technology, and look exactly what we're doing now. I'm sitting here in Australia, in Melbourne, in my house because I'm in lockdown, talking to you in Nepal, in your house, because you're in lockdown too. Okay, so if we didn't have technology, we couldn't do this. So the jobs in information technology are very strong. And the most, as well as IT, we're also popular for studies in business and accounting. So really, nursing, health sciences, public health, IT, and business and accounting. Even though we have a very large education faculty, and we are the largest provider of teachers in Australia, Nepali students haven't cottoned on to this yet, and maybe this is something for the future, because the jobs in the education area, our teachers, are really good jobs in Australia. What's the next question, Amrit?
We have a question from one of the visitor in our website, in our Facebook page. Mr. Pranish Keshi is asking, how is MPH at ACU?
Oh, Pranish, thanks for the question. The MPH, Master of Public Health, is it's great. It's offered in our Melbourne campus, which is a wonderful modern campus in the heart of Melbourne. And it's a 2-year master's degree. And the people that are in that course are probably the smartest people in our university. They're all doctors and dentists and pharmacists, and they're coming from all sorts of countries like Nigeria, Kenya, Nepal, Bangladesh. So they're bringing a lot of richness into the course from their backgrounds. And of course, public health is a very important subject at the moment. What a time to be studying public health in the middle of a pandemic. You know, we speak public health every day these days, and it become more and more important as time goes on. There's another question there from Yashoda about applying to ACU. Yashoda, you can apply through IDP. These people, the people at IDP are experts in Australian education, and they can guide you and help you with your application and also your visa application. Okay, now I'm going to go on and talk about my next interview question now. I'll come back to the questions in the chat in
Louise,
a short time.
Louise, COVID-19 has impacted many international students.
Yes.
They receive quality education in Australia and other popular countries. In this context, how is the Australian government and ACU supporting existing and future international students?
Okay, the Australian government, it's more the support is more coming from the state governments, not the Australian government. So each state has come up with its support packages, and that can be from emergency housing, it can be funding, food, all sorts of things. So I'll give you an example. I live in the state of Victoria. The state of Victoria is providing emergency relief funding to the value of $500 to students, to current students, and ACU is matching that amount to every government fund. We will match, and that's the same in the state of New South Wales and the state of Queensland. So whatever the government's doing, ACU is matching, but each state has different things, and you can find that out on the Australian government website. In terms of what ACU has done for the students during this time, well, firstly and most importantly, we have a dedicated team of international student advisors. So these are staff that sit in the international office that just look after international students. So right at the very beginning of the crisis, we reached out to students and told them to contact us if they had any problems. So if any student contacted us by email, we immediately got on the phone and called these students to assess their needs, assess their level of mental health, of stress, all of those things. And we put into action any plans that needed then. So students right from the outset were assessed as different needs, and we were made sure that our students were really, really kept in contact with and given all of the advice that they possibly could. As well as that advice, we provided fee extensions. So if people couldn't pay their fee on time, we would extend that. Installment plans became much easier to come by. So if you just could pay a little bit at a time, that's fine, and that's ongoing now this semester. So the same with fee extensions. For all students at ACU, we have an emergency loan, which is $450, so students could access that very easily, as well as an interest-free hardship loan to the value of $4,000 has been provided to students. Students have accessed that, and they don't have to pay it back till the end of their course, and there's no interest on that. So they could access that easily. We also, interruption to study, it has become more available. So if a student, particularly this semester, doesn't feel like they can study, they can apply for interruption. So, and that doesn't affect the visa office doesn't ask any questions about that. So that's perfectly legitimate, and a lot of students have access to that interruption so that they can just have, minimize their stress and the cost of staying in Australia as well. The university has provided free legal advice. So especially for students that, in rental properties and things like that, we we can give them advice about that. Tenancy advice, so that's very important because some students felt under pressure from their landlords, so we can tell them their rights as a tenant. And in fact, there are government laws now that that you can't be evicted from your accommodation, and you can't, and your rent can't go up. Things like that during COVID, the government has made sure that that cannot occur. In some states, emergency accommodation has been provided. So in New South Wales, we have been able to provide emergency accommodation because we have our own accommodation in New South Wales, and in some states, free meals. So I know, for instance, at Melbourne campus, the campus ministry division has provided, every day provides free lunches to international students. And these sorts of things have been popular. Now, that's government support, that's university support, but the community as well has been wonderful to provide support to international students, whether it be accommodation, whether it be food, anything like that, friendship. The community in Australia has been very, very supportive of the international students, knowing the situation that they're in.
Perfect.
We all know it's a terrible time. So
yeah.
any little bit helps.
Yeah. So that's a
next question, Amrit.
So that's quite an impressive insight, Louise. Thank you for all this information. I hope our students and parents are finding it very, very useful at the current situation. So going forward for another question, Louise, I'm sure you know that many of our students are yet to sit for their year 12 and bachelor's final semester exams because of the current situation. Can these students start their application process for bachelor's and master's program at ACU without their final year results? And also in some cases, most of the students, given the current scenario, they do not have any IELTS score as well.
Absolutely. Of course, you can apply with your current results, and we will process your application with your current results. So if you're in year 12 and you've only got year 11 results, we will assess your eligibility based on that and give you an offer letter with a condition. Okay, so it's the same as what would happen if you were applying for university in Nepal, I'm sure. If you haven't got your final results or sat your final exams for your bachelor degree and you want to go for masters, we'll look at your semester 7 results. And based on semester 7 results, we will give you a conditional offer for your master's program. So again, that's your academic background, so you can certainly get your conditional offer. And if you haven't sat your English result test yet, that's fine as well. You'll have a second condition on your offer letter. So what you need to do is process with your current results.
Here, I want to reiterate to all students that you can start your application process with your current result and without IELTS score to get conditional offer letter. You can submit your final year transcript or mark sheet and English score later along with your other documents like financial and other stuffs. And then later on you can get full offer to apply visa to accept the visa.
Yes.
Louise, ACU has always been a very popular university among Nepalese students. You already shared that information to our students as well. Can you please share with our students and parents present here some of these success stories of Nepalese ACU graduates?
Sure. ACU's graduate employment rate is number 3 amongst all Australian universities.
That's great.
So we're number 3. And the reason for that is that our courses are very practical, our popular courses. So our teaching courses, our nursing courses, and our graduates are ready for work. Because our courses are practical, students have had exposure to the industry and exposure to their future employers. So I can give you an example of a student from Nepal. She has just, well, she was doing a Bachelor of Information Technology, and she did an internship at Cisco, a very large multinational IT company in North Sydney, right next to our campus. And she was exposed herself to the future employers. They were impressed with her. So in her final semester, she'd already signed a contract with them. And so the minute she finished her final semester, she went and started working at Cisco. She's an excellent student, and she had applied to do the Master of IT at ACU as well with a scholarship, and with a 50% scholarship she was awarded, but she chose to go and start her career at Cisco. So she had two very good options. Now, again, back to the practicality of our courses. If you're studying a nursing course, for instance, you spend a lot of time in the hospitals, not in your first semester, but in your next 5 semesters. Every semester you have to go on placement. So by the time you're finished, you really are work ready and confident in your ability to work as a graduate nurse. So and honestly, 95% of our graduates are employed within 3 months of completing their course. Yeah. So demand for nursing is strong, of course. Demand for IT is strong. And I mentioned that before. IT is booming at the moment because we're all working from home. We all need IT. And of course, health sciences is booming at the moment because we're in the middle of a pandemic. But in Australia, we always have a shortage for healthcare workers. So that's why we're happy for Nepalese students to come, study and work as nurses there. In terms of a recent graduate, a graduate that's returned to Nepal, I've recently appointed one of our graduates as a regional manager based in Kathmandu. So she has joined the international ACU international team and will be assisting me in my role as a senior manager international and helping to brand ACU in Nepal, talk to our prospective students and do some community work there as well. So we're very happy to have Anushka Shrestha join us.
That will be great. Awesome. We'll feel good. Students will student will be able to talk with her directly and then can queries. So in
Yes.
Louise, I'm sure our viewers would like to know a little bit about the availability of part-time jobs for international students in Australia. So can you please elaborate a bit on this?
Yeah, okay. So in most states, the economies are recovering. Okay, so that means the employment opportunities are recovering. The state of Victoria, however, where Melbourne is still in lockdown because we've had a second wave. So the job opportunities have not recovered there, nor has the economy. So I would suggest for the moment for students to go maybe, to choose Sydney or to choose Brisbane or Canberra where their economies are open again. Yeah. So the jobs will be the available opportunities will be more than they are in Melbourne because it will be more advanced. Victoria will open the economy again in 2 or 3 weeks. So we'll be a little bit behind the other states. I will say that because most of the students at ACU from Nepal, 70% are nursing, that they haven't been affected so much by the job losses in Australia because they've been needed to work in the healthcare sector. So we needed everyone during the pandemic to be working. So our students haven't been affected with unemployment so much. But I must say, you know, as those students are in demand, they've been working in the front line during the pandemic, and we are so proud of our international students doing that to help all of the sick people affected by the pandemic. So a shout out to our healthcare workers from all over the world, but particularly our nurses from Nepal. I really think that's a very important thing that they're doing.
Yes, awesome. They are doing very hard work during this pandemic, and then solid, you know, to them, their work and their dedications during this pandemic.
Yes.
All students, you know, about our 12th September Australia Education Virtual Fair. You know, ACU is participating on that fair, and you can talk with ACU representative one-to-one. So you can talk with Anushka Shrestha. She will be participating on that fair. So you can talk with her, and then her experience as well as other informations about ACU, your course, fee structure, scholarship availability, other, you know, required information that you are interested for. So please visit our website, or you can inbox message at our Facebook to participate on that fair. Registration is must. Don't forget, mark your calendar for the 12th September event. Thank you, Louise, for your valuable time today. Thank you providing your insights on international education, about Nepali students, their success stories, as well as about ACU, and then you know, for the processing, and then about you know, recruiting Nepalese staff to help Nepalese students to get admission and for the process for ACU.
Thank you very much.
Our viewers will found this information very useful further.
Thank you very much to IDP for hosting me. And don't forget, everyone, to register for the virtual fair that's going to be held on Saturday, the 12th of September between 12 and 4. Go along and find out more about ACU, submit your application, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Louise. Thank you for your time. Bye, everyone. Take care. Stay safe.